The following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Of course! Of course!
Some of the people coming back from the crowd stop by you and go, "God, you must be a fighter too in the championship thing, the jigs."
Champion.
Except he sounds more German. Berman. With a B.
With a B.
With a B.
Legally
The
distinct
B is for
Birmingham.
Birkin!
Sorry, everyone. My bad, I keep doing that for some reason.
Tournament? What are you referring to?
Like, you know, with the jousting and the lances and the grand combat.
Oh, is there some big tournament coming up locally?
We can only hope. Or are you more like one of them Underdome fighters?
I have fought in such a place, but
Really?
yes,
They do not have you pegged for
against a giant of a man named Braun.
Oh, you know Brawl!
I fought him in one-on-one combat in the
Then
Underdome.
you'll be after a rematch then, won't you?
No.
No,
The
I won.
Underdome.
I won.
Then he'll be after a rematch at the Underdome.
Quite possibly.
He marks the Underdome on your map.
Okay.
Somehow NPCs can do this without actually having
Let
to
me just
to
update your map.
dig out your map.
So where is it? Do you want me to?
I will update your map if you don't mind me drawing on it
marker
That's fine.
with a
update.
blue marker pen.
I mean, we almost had you do that last time, and then it turned out the thing was already on there. I so recall.
What circumstances brought you into the Undertow? Of all places. If you can speak. If you can speak of it, of course.
I do not know how much to divulge. Perhaps this is a story for
It is a story
another
for on the
day,
road.
another time. Yes.
Maybe one day I will touch upon a story that can just be told.
Oh, it's right round the corner from where we are.
Right near the temples where healing can be done in a pinch. You know.
Convenient location.
There's many stories we can tell. Many stories that have been told. But some touch on subjects we shouldn't.
Yes. Anyway, shall we continue on to the temples?
You arrive at the temple district. Fuck, look at him. Rising up above the road. Some of them are almost 2 stories tall. They're all huddled together like they're in some kind of defensive phalanx against the oppressive gloom of the new city's villainy.
Is there any uproar from the Crow Temple as we pass?
No?
Is there a stag head on the
Yeah,
wall?
they got it.
No.
No. They're probably just planning their next thing.
There's only like, what, 2 pews they can steal, so...
I'm guessing they were drinking at the bar at the time.
They have got a sign up saying stag head wanted, good hunting, stag head, blessings and exchange, etc. etc. Fresh is best.
Chuckle as we go past.
Head into the Tauric temple.
I'll stay outside because she was quite averse to seeing me last time, so I'm being polite.
Well, back again.
Yes. Good
Why?
morning. What do you mean, why?
I mean, how much trouble could you have gotten into between last night and now?
You would be surprised.
You know, you are the one who sent me on that little quest.
Well, you shouldn't feel too troubled about it. It was entirely just.
Yes.
TM.
By the way, I never had the honour of getting your name.
Huh? Strange, I didn't give it to you.
Yes. Cleric.
Yes. That'll do.
Oh, come now. There's no need to be so... How shall I put this? Subdued?
Oh, I think there is. Anyway, how can the temple help you today?
I was looking to learn more about the local laws. I was wondering if you could perhaps point me in the direction
Well,
where I would be able to do such.
I mean, Pomanian laws are ridiculously complex. Specifically, what were you after? Depends on who you'd have to ask.
Anything related to salvage rights.
Well, I think one of the best place to go, obviously, is one of the ducal libraries. Let me think. Maybe Duke Gerbol's library would most pertain to that. He does oversee a lot of... Yeah.
And that I could access that quite easily?
No, of course not. You'd have to win his favour and then ask for access.
I see.
Or become a retainer or bondsman to that house.
I see. And how easy would you think it would be for me to... How much do you know the Duke well?
No, unfortunately. I do not.
Do you not know if he is a just man, or...?
I wouldn't care to speculate. Possibly...
I don't imagine I would be able to just walk in and speak to him, though.
No, of course not.
Exactly.
You wouldn't even be able to get into the new city.
We were wondering that.
There's possibly Count Mackinson. He keeps an estate here. He might have a library.
Is there an Athenaeum or anything nearby, or would that not contain any
Not in
such
the new
laws?
city, no. You could try the like a College of Heralds or the one of the clerical schools. They might have some information for you.
A passerby mentioned maybe a tournament was happening soon.
Oh, really?
Sir Reinhardt passed through.
Oh, Sir Reinhardt.
Tell me, do they hold such events in the inner city?
Oh, yes. They've got a huge arena. Like a big tournament ground. It's big and large, with statues over 100 feet tall around it.
It occurs to me that if the timings line up, and there is indeed such an event soon, they could serve as both an inn into the inner city and a way to curry favour.
They do open the gates on tournament day.
Oh, wait, why can't we get into the inner city?
Because you're peasant scum, with no reputation and no standing.
But we have been invited.
Really? See, that's kind of information you should have maybe told me.
To a degree. I mean, we have a dispute.
Then you're still going to have to earn your way in. Just because you have a dispute that needs resolving doesn't mean they're going to let you in. It's one of those little barriers to justice that are so hard to break down.
How would they normally go about announcing a tournament if one was to come up? How
Town criers, big hooting horns, the gates are open. That sort of thing. Everyone talking about it.
So would the return of Sir Reinhardt often mean such a thing was going to happen? I mean,
Not necessarily. He could just be here to settle a dispute.
Fighters in the Underdome, however,
That being said, Maximilian van Uber's here as well. And his father. And Sir Adolf is in attendance. So there's a good chance there might be a tournament coming.
Or
then I shall enter this tournament.
So, how do you prefer your body be disposed of?
Pardon?
Well, I mean, have you ever tournamented?
I mean,
Do you even own a horse?
In the Underdome. I was also I won against the champion in Tarvalen.
And Sandra Maris.
Look at these Sulans outside.
We're in the church!
Yes, it's the worst place.
Well, maybe you'll have a chance, but you're not going to win.
So
Doesn't mean I'm
Reinhardt
going
is
to die,
involved.
though, does it?
Sir Adolf is involved. He's never been beaten.
Wait, so Reinhard hasn't beaten Sir Adolf?
So Reinhardt won't fight him because professional champions aren't suicidal. And fighting Sir Adolf is suicide.
But fighting Sir Reinhardt is not.
Yes, that's what I wondered.
Because Sir Reinhardt will hold back when killing isn't necessary. Sir Adolf will not.
What makes Sir Adolf so adept?
The gods' favour? Who knows? He's extremely skilled. Ruthless. Powerful. He always wins. He is the official personal champion of the Archduke Gadolf.
Well, I mean, I just need to enter the tournament to get in.
So tell me more about this legal dispute. Salvage rights?
Well, you see, we went into the Parchstone and...
Alright.
And I'll basically tell her the gist of...
How honest are you being?
Yeah? I mean, pretty straight up honest about all the Parchstone
So about
stuff.
half an hour later you finish the story.
It could be the first time you're hearing it, too.
And she's like,
We'll
well,
listen intently.
if you weren't a fellow cleric, I'd accuse you of flagrant lying, but
Hey, those... You saw those scrolls I delivered?
I didn't know what they meant, and I won't know for a while. Well, let's...
I could have translated those for you.
Now he says it.
Well, I mean, he could probably still offer his services if he wished.
Well, he'll have to head off then.
Because I imagine
We've
there's
already
some
sent them on to the...
Ah, never mind.
Anyway. So you want to take claim of the treasure you got from there. Well, that's going to be a thorny legal issue. If Sir Adolf wasn't in town, I would just suggest trial by combat. But that's not an option.
We could just present Sulan. She would never lose.
They won't accept her. She's a woman. And she has yellow eyes, and you know what that means.
Yes, we know all too well.
Ah, been a victim of the old mage magic, huh?
No, I mean, it comes up every time anybody sees Sulan.
I bet it
They
does.
won't shut up about
I've seen
it.
how she dresses.
More like doesn't dress, but...
No, right? Phew. Oof. Well, you're going to need friends.
Well, an associate of ours is currently working on that. She knows more about this type of thing than we do.
If you had any contacts with the higher-ups of any kind, that would do well.
I mean,
I would probably not mention that you released a giant beast and anything like that. That won't go well for you.
Well, no, we just lifted the curse on the place.
I mean, that's also kind of irrelevant to the treasure itself.
We know Count Hector.
We do.
You do?
Yes.
Why don't you just go to him? Because he's in Stromblett,
I was
never
about to
mind.
say he's not a local, is he?
So he has gone back then.
He was released recently and made a triumphal return. But things aren't quite as cut and dried as everyone would like. Rumour has it that the Baron has made some powerful allies in his absence and cannot easily be ousted, so we're still looking for a war with Serenia. That's the rumour.
I'd rather not.
Well, you'd rather not. Baron Senger's a powerful and apparently very handsome and swarthy man.
He does look very nice. We met him.
Is there any other powerful nobility you've met in this kingdom that might help that you could just easily go to that you haven't mentioned?
Baron Singer wouldn't help us at all. Baron Singer wouldn't help us at all.
No.
No.
He
No,
hates
I mean, he was
No, it
about the
wouldn't take
only
me to
one
see him
when,
either. I'll die.
when I helped lead an army in the north against the...
You get used to this eventually.
You would have been the one who assisted that Duke Heinrich's new relative. What was his name? Roman Draconin.
No,
What?
we did not assist... Wait, what?
A relative from up north who was in the Wall of Spears of Duke Heinrich's has recently come back to much acclaim. Roman Draconin. He's a
Much acclaim.
very handsome, beringed man with a great spear.
Describe
I
him.
mean, he's not as good looking as you, if you're into that kind of thing, but...
Does he have, like, long, greasy, oily hair that goes down to about here?
Yeah.
About this tall?
Very tall, yes. Not that tall, but, you know. What?
He is... How shall I put this? Not an honourable, just man.
Oh, honey, who is?
He was the avatar of Faris Adar.
Exactly.
Oh, shit, so he's my sworn enemy too. Neat. All
Was.
the powerful enemies.
Just when I was about
Two
to
scoops, pour them on.
Just as
So
I
is
was
the
about
fate of
to
the
ask if you know of any nobles or high-ranking people in Burmany who are particularly well disposed of Tor.
Sorry. Our temple is out here. It's the shittiest temple for 900 miles. It has not even got a high cleric. We receive no official funding. They're not fans. The big god around here is Ben-Adar.
Isn't he usually, though?
Burmania has done very well by him. Chaos is big too. I don't call him that though. Oh, and of course Bevarak.
What do they call chaos?
Usually Muse. The lyrical lord is a good euphemism. If you enter and place well in one of the tournament events, if there is a tournament, you could gain a lot of reputation which will help you.
That's my hope.
Legal challenges are almost more about who you know than how good your defense is. The Archduke is a visionary genius, but a little paranoid. So he is not as trusting even of a cleric of Tor as a rational, very normal, very straight, very erect man such as this might be.
Well, I would not expect him to trust me. I mean, I'm a Serenian giant who's just waltzed into his abode, essentially.
And you're wearing that. That's a powerful statement.
Oh, you know what this is?
I only know enough to know that it's very old and it's not a Burman design.
Yes.
Actually, if you're going to be in the tournament, you might want to get yourself some heavy field plate. That's a very much a status symbol around this place.
Well, I do have a
I
set
almost
of...
said this shithole. I'm really sorry.
Think nothing
I don't
of it.
think you'll offend him. He is...
From
Yes.
this festering in us.
Wish it were not so.
Sorry, but it is.
Well, I did have some armour that I wish to get modified. It is dwarven in origin, but it does not
There's
fit
no one
me.
around here is going to be able to do it. Unless you could hire a dwarven smith.
Are there any dwarven smiths?
If there were, I wouldn't be wearing leather.
Maybe in the high city.
Maybe.
That would not give you much
There is
time.
a dwarven coin changer around here. Takes all kinds of gold and trades it for other precious metals.
He might have some contacts, being a dwarf.
Here, I'll just update your map. You're looking for Iron Founderson Gold Exchange.
You'd know that name too.
Yes, I was like, wait a minute. Iron Founderson?
Yeah, you met him up north.
I believe I have had the pleasure of meeting either him or one of his relatives.
Ah. So, how much did you lose?
Wasn't that bad, actually.
Could have been worse. He drives a hard bargain.
Dwarves do. But they're very serious. That's all the advice I can give you.
You have been more helpful than I could expect. Thank you very much.
Charity box.
I better not give too much, wink.
I'll put a gold in the charity box.
Thank you very much, Reason Little Finger. Just replied. Because he said wink. So...
No, I mean, Sophia's going to wink at her.
Oh, she's like, thank you very much.
And I will
And
also
thank you. I'm afraid I don't know your name.
Adrian.
Sorry, I misspoke. I also don't care. It's like you don't care about mine.
You were
asked
when I first came in.
No, but you don't really care.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Why not? Why would you assume that?
It's not an assumption. Soon you'll be gone and I'd just be another woman that you've met and failed to fuck. Or succeeded, depending on the fates. Who knows?
Who knows indeed.
So these gentlemen come out of the temple and catch back up with you like 45 minutes to an hour later.
Yeah, it's alright. I was watching what was going on around.
Someone's just like leading the cows through the street. There's armed men keeping the clowns back.
What?
Well, I pissed the clowns off,
Well,
so
you
they're...
want to keep the... Oh, okay.
It's a mob of them.
Okay, so clowns and cows on like what? There's like a third or fourth level of hell. They have this eternal war. Rodeos are just reenactments of their epic battles.
Hey.
What else would you have clowns at a radio?
Doesn't make any sense.
See, when you think about it, you realise the truth.
I don't think I want to go down that clown hole.
And
You
the elite.
kind of don't want to go to any of the levels of hell. For one thing, your detect evil spells, broadly speaking, not very useful, but at the same time, more useful than it will ever be.
You will hit more results and more powerful ones. You would
So it doesn't really help. Yep, there's evil.
Evil.
Yep.
If
Oh,
Sure.
there's a
Yep.
small gap over there. Oh, not anymore.
Oh, the ground's evil.
Well, this is going to be challenging.
Sorry that took a while, Sulan, but we got into kind of a conversation.
So we found out how to get in the inner city.
Kind
Perhaps,
of.
Have you, during our absence, did you hear any cries or talks of there being some kind of tournament or championship?
No.
Don't stop on my account.
We are stopping.
We... Well, we could go close to the city walls. Maybe there's messages or that. I don't.
Well, we also have options of we could try asking the Underdome.
maybe not the warriors there, but maybe the organisers.
Yes, we also
know
have
something.
a possible lead whether you may remember the name Iron Founderson.
Ah, he was the dwarf from up north.
You haven't mentioned the best news. So Roman has integrated himself with the nobility here.
Somehow.
The passerby hearing you mention the name Roman just goes,
Same way as he does it everywhere else. Do you find what house he aligned with?
Draconan.
Draconan.
Then we must avoid that house.
Very much so.
This would be the same man who was related to those other individuals on the road.
Yeah, that one.
Which explains why there's so many of them around.
Yes, he came as well.
Well, this time you might have to do it properly.
Do it properly.
Now, this
Did
reeks of a
someone say
story I'm
did
not
someone
allowed
say
to be
a
told.
phrase relating directly and only to me?
Who's the?
That's Roya.
It is right. Okay, I was just want to make
So
sure.
she's like her gear's like wrecked. Incidentally, you're going to have to buy me a new cloak.
What happened?
What happened to you, Roy? Are you all right?
I'll get to that. Is there somewhere private we can talk? Like
No.
not right here in the middle of the street with that eavesdropper and that ninja.
We could go in the temple.
I mean,
Not the temples.
Our inn is rather private.
No.
you're in.
It's the opposite of that.
Well, God, where are you staying, Shadowhearth?
Yes.
Move out.
It's cheap!
It's filled with thieves and assassins.
It's cheap!
The
bought
walls
one on
have
the roof.
ears. There's literally crawl spaces with people listening and selling information all the time.
And I don't know if they would let you into Arok's throne.
You're staying at, of course you are.
So I suppose the answer is no. There isn't really anywhere we can chat privately.
And then at least let's get away from here.
Very well.
Perhaps we could find a tavern where there would be less. Like that one over there. Stag and Beetle.
Lead on.
After you.
Very well.
Don't you just want to kiss these lips?